Hey, how's it going, cuties? Is the music volume fine today? I think I might have accidentally changed something in Spotify, so wondering if it's too loud, maybe. And welcome in, everybody. Nice to see you, Gaga. Nice to see you, Andy. Nice to see you, Rookie. Hope all of you had a nice start into the week. Okay, yeah, let me know if it's too loud. I never like it in streams if the music kinda overshadows the streamer. So I want it to be a nice background music, but preferably background music. And how are all of you cuties doing today? We will go back to what we've been working on. First things first, we're gonna hide all of the nonsense and have a look at this. I made a tad bit of progress. I didn't get to play much, but I think, oh, this is the first time this actually works. I'm excited. We have a school bus now. It is beautiful. I already had a look at it yesterday, but it seemed to have a problem on left-hand traffic, but the left-hand traffic got fixed. So we now have a school bus. We even have, and I do think I want to change this. We even have a short version of it. I changed it to the long version because I wanted to look at it, but it's not here. Yeah, it was. It already got updated. And in all fairness, it was only broken for left-hand traffic. So for left-hand, okay, nice turn. Sorry, dear fans. But for left-hand traffic, it was invisible. But apparently, the server was very quick and already fixed it. Yesterday, I already had this bus going as well, and I could see people exiting and entering the bus, but it was invisible. So it was a bit of a curious experience. Yes, I mean, we can adjust the curve radius on these, but otherwise, I think you guys can tell, well, we need to do it still, that I gotten the style of this area to be a bit more in shape. And I think we're slowly getting there. This is how we're gonna do the parking. I hated the parking that we had before. Before I just really quickly and ugly threw down something like this. I hate it. It makes no sense. People cannot properly get into those. It doesn't look good. This is
That's
how we're
cute.
actually gonna do it. It's gonna be quite a bit of work, but it is what it is. Really, after having built a favela, all of this feels very quick and effortless to me. Even though I guess this is a fairly high maintenance build again. But yeah, having built built a favela just before this definitely is a difference. And looking at this, I actually have a question to you good players of this game, which I am clearly not. I have never tried this. We're gonna go out in the middle here. Because if we take a road, doesn't really matter which one, but any road like this, and we take a 90-degree corner. You guys are familiar with what all of us always do, and is go into manipulation mode and making the curves a bit smoother. I clicked the button a bit too long there, but just really quick and dirty. This is what we're doing. Also, thank you for that watch, Rick Rookie. That's very cute of you, especially considering that I barely streamed lately, and if, as always, off schedule. But having this, can we do the same with invisible passes or not? Because we can go into manipulation mode, but does this have the same effect? I'm not actually sure about it. Because if we go here and do the same with an invisible pass, right? Do I have a way to get my curve smoother as well? Or is that only. Will this actually make the we're gonna have to learn together here? Will this also make the curve smoother? Because if so, we can very easily fix. It does. Okay, I did not know this. I was actually curious if this is a thing or not. But it seems to be, which is good news for it, because that means we can fix the buses turning a little. I mean, I'm sure you know this for roads. I also didn't know this. I just was wondering because I can realize, or I do realize that I hate the way the buses come out here. Now the question, actually, we need to recheck some more thing because we have a bit of a different situation here. What we actually do need to check is how this behaves if we're mixing invisible paths. Yeah, we're starting out with a science episode here. So I guess we need. See, with this, I'm not sure because I don't think we would actually want to interlock them. And what happens if now we do this? Yeah, see, now this has no influence on the curve radius. So I think that is a problem. What happens if we do the. Yeah, because if we go too far, it snaps to the wrong side of the road, what we definitely don't want. So we're gonna start actually playing the game in a moment, but I need a moment of science here just to understand our possibilities. Because otherwise we can just replace it with a proper road instead of a net line. But I don't think this works if you have different one. I have to admit, I don't know. I still like manipulation mode than any of more than any of the mods we had released for it. Both because I had little time lately, so I didn't really get to try too much with new mods, as well as I just like to have full control. But I think this is a limitation of matching an invisible network like this and a road. So we might have to think about actually going under here with actual roads instead of invisible nodes. Just because I hate this part. I hate the way how harsh they turn in and out here. I'm gonna have to try around with that a bit more, but for now, I guess the answer is no if we have a mismatch of road and invisible paths. If we have the same network, the answer seems to be yes. I was hoping it works for both as well, but it does make sense that what we're trying to do doesn't work. And then, sadly, I guess my stream title already kinda hinted at that, but a lot of what we're gonna do today is gonna be exactly what you're looking at now. A lot of what we're gonna do today is gonna be quite literally placing curbstones. I place quite a bit already, but we have both quite a bit to add afterwards, as well as we're gonna have to actually trace quite a bit of curbs. This might feel tedious for people. I have to say, after the favela, all of this feels very untedious. And welcome in, Polly. Nice to see you, cutie. How are you doing on this fabulous Monday evening? Or I guess for you, where are you from, Polly? You're from the US, right? Or am I confusing? Because if is it the US, then I guess not yet evening. Oh, it's from Finland, actually. I don't know why I thought you're from the US. And this we can fix. I haven't completely decided if we wanna fix it or not, but you guys, every CS2 player is familiar with this issue we have right here. The road steering up. We can fix that with the source design terraforming blocks. I'm not sure if I want to do that, because if we use a source design terraforming blocks, we're forced to actually have flat terrain, and we don't. All of this is falling, and all of this is falling, and we're falling towards here as well. And I don't think I want to lock myself into having to terraform everything to actually be flat. So sadly, I think we have to live with this till IFS maybe someday fixes this. And I need your guys' help as well in a different question actually, because there's a few people here, but we're not that many yet, so I can catch up on chat really easily. I would like your guys' opinion. I wanna decide on a fence to use mostly throughout this kinda styled out neighborhood. I am very unsure. I do definitely want to use a net lane, which cuts us kind of short in options, but we have so many different lengths of fences that I don't want to be limited to any predefined lengths. So it has to be a net lane. The four options we have, obviously we have more, but it's four that I like and I cannot decide between. It's this one. It's this classic wooden fence, which I think might actually be my favorite currently. So these two, and then we have this, which I thought would be my favorite. The longer I look at it, the more I think this is too modern. But I'm glad to adjust. And then as a last option, this one, which I have to say I also quite like this. So which out of those four fences do you guys think is the favorite? And welcome in, Jelly, just so you can also give me your opinion. I'm gonna show the one more time what we just looked at. I need your guys' help to decide between four fences for this little cute city here. This is our city, right? Just so you have a bit of an idea of the style of the city that we're building. Now we're deciding between this fence. This is number 4. Holy votes for this one. Then we have this one, which is number 3. We have this one that Andy voted for so far. And as a last option, we have this one. Right now, 2 people voted. So you guys are telling me not only do I have problems deciding stuff by myself, but you guys also, when you guys say 3, you mean this, right? Okay, so now we have 2 votes for 2, 2 votes for 3, and 1 vote for 2. You guys didn't help me the slightest. I'm not gonna say this is exactly the helpfulness I expected of my viewers, but now I'm just as indecisive as I've been before. I was hoping you guys can all agree on one together. So we make progress. I can show you guys why 3. Okay, that's another 3 that actually is interesting. The reason why I really like this fence, I want to clarify. There is a very simple reason, and welcome in, Red Blazer. Nice to see you typing in here. But yes, the reason I don't love this fence is this. I don't like the ending. I don't like the ending of this fence. We're not counting anything. Luckily, so far no counting electricity boxes or bollards. But we're trying to decide between a fence and the result of it is a different one than I expected. Yeah, of course, we could just put pillars there. Not a massive problem, but yes, welcome in. And
That's
in
cute.
my head, I always used to call you Red
I wish we had a
Bracer, but
cactus.
it's Red Lawbracer. I actually have to make sure that I pronounce that somewhat acceptable. But I guess everybody is voting for this fence. I'm not gonna say I'm surprised, but I'm surprised. I would have expected any of the other three to win and this to be the last place. But I guess all of you guys have better taste than me. Oh shit, look guys, here, this is a short version. I love this, it's so cute. It's very Los Vagos size as well, because a big school bus is a little too long for it. But the small version is adorable.
That's
I
cute.
I absolutely love it. I would just try to find a proper pillar. We can find stone pillars here to put them at the end. I'm gonna, for once, while this channel absolutely usually is not a democracy, I'm gonna let you guys win this. You guys have all voted, or most of you guys have voted for fence number 3, and I'm gonna listen to you guys. Fence number 3 it is. I mean, you were too late, Stark. I'm very sorry for you, but sadly, since you were too late, you have missed the election. This was fence number 3, but I don't think even you voting would have changed anything, because most people were voting for it. And thanks for the follow, Mr. Stanel56. I hope I didn't butcher your name too bad, even though I probably did. Let's try adding the UK. I know there is one wide UK. This one is exactly the one I was thinking about. I think we can make this work. The short one, and then we actually full on. Can you? The heck? Oops. This is what I wanted to do. And now we just cover this side block, and then that fence is acceptable. Everybody would have voted for this. I'm so surprised. I mean, I also really like this fence. I think one of the reasons why I wouldn't have voted for this fence is because I use it the most. So I don't mind using this. Do we think this is a good enough fit? The pillar. We can go look for other ones as well. But I think brick itself looks silly. I would like to match the white. I like the small brick detail because we have a lot of brick pavement, but I don't want a fully brick pillar. So I think I actually quite like this. Very surprising. I would have expected a very different result. Also, maybe Starq, maybe you know this because you always know stuff. When I started the stream, we did a very short science episode. I can repeat my science episode, so you tell me if this is possible. If we have a road like this, and we have a corner like this, obviously what we can do with manipulation mode is take this corner and make it more smooth, right? Ignore the terrain, it's gonna be horrible here, but now this is a proper corner. We can do the same if I have a invisible pass, like this. I have an invisible pass, I have a second corner doing this. I can do the exact same. We go in here with manipulation mode, we move those back a little. I guess I should actually show these so you guys can see what's happening. But you guys see here we're getting round again. Is there a way for me to do this when I'm mixing networks? meaning I have one invisible, and now I have a street. I have not managed to do so. Maybe this is on me, but here, or maybe actually this did work because we're overlapping these. Now I'm curious. But yeah, we cannot see it because here there is no connection drawn because they are not actually interchanging. I think you are probably understanding what I'm asking for. But I would like to do exactly what we did here or in this road, but with invisible networks and a street mixing. I don't know if this is possible. Maybe somebody who knows the game better than me or is more bright than me can help me out with this or has a solution for me. Because I don't have any. I'm sure we can find a workaround and fix this in a different way. But if we would be able to keep the mix of networks, that would be very nice. So just putting it out there in case somebody has a good idea. And I guess to save a bit of work, we should go ahead and place this everywhere here already. And then we can just draw the fence in quickly afterwards. Here, well, hold on. Before we're gonna do this, I actually need to draw the curbs everywhere, so we match up, and this is probably what we're gonna do the majority of this stream. I know, very interesting, as always, I bring you guys high action gameplay and excitement over here. So, probably what you guys are gonna watch me do for a long time today is what I'm doing right now. Yeah, welcome in, Trashy. We have made a little progress. We're still working on the cute park that is featuring your gay stick. Your gay stick now has some nice chalk drawings around it. But yes, progress is slow. I have it literally. I think this is the first stream since you raided me the last time. So we're pretty much at the same stage. And as I'm manually drawing my curbs, I guess it's gonna take a moment. Because whenever I watch you model anything for cities and you say, oh look, people will not look at it this close anyways, you are incorrect, Trashy. I can guarantee you I'm exactly the kind of person that will look close enough to see it, so no cutting corners. To fix the surfaces slightly. And how are you doing on this lovely Monday evening, Trashy? What was a dragon nest you were building for? I'm curious because that nest looked very cute, but I imagine you're doing that for something. Please don't snap. Okay, it didn't snap. I mean, I would say I'm the only one, but I don't think I'm the only one. I think most people watching my stream are probably playing somewhat similar to me. But yes, if anybody, I'm always so bad with shout outs, not because I don't want to shout out people, just because I forget about it. I'm remembering right now, if you guys want to actually see somebody who is competent at modeling in Blender, please don't watch me, please don't watch anybody else, but instead you cutie should go over to this lovely gentleman. Well, I was too slow. Somebody was faster than me. this is why I say I'm not competent on shout outs, because of course I was too slow. But yes, go check out Trash Can. He does play a lot of variety games, at least generally, but my favorite trashy streams are the Blender streams, which I'm not sure if other people would agree. But then the Blender streams wholeheartedly very fun to watch, especially if you're trying to learn Blender yourself. Though I have to admit, I also was recently watching you play. God damn it, how's it called again? The racing game that Forza. I have to admit, watching you play Forza was also quite hilarious. You did play Forza quite a while, but the time that I enjoyed the most was when you were doing the hide and seek mode in Forza, and it was quite hilarious watching that, not gonna lie. Not gonna say it was mainly hilarious, because it looked like you're having a slight amount of trouble navigating your car, but maybe. Yeah, it was like, even as a viewer, I was laughing my ass off, and it doesn't happen too often that I'm that entertained watching other people play racing games. I have to admit, I used to like racing games a lot, but I have not played a proper racing game in a long time. So it seems like most people really like the new Forza. This fence, it really hurts me. I would have loved, absolutely loved to use this fence. All right, Star Q, have a nice evening, and thanks for tuning in. But yes, this fence makes me sad. It's so beautiful, and then you zoom out, and as soon as you zoom out, it just turns pitch black as soon as it hits the first LOD, and it looks horrific. So while I wanted to use this fence, sadly we can't, because it does this. Why it does this, meanwhile, is a different question. Yeah, it is a good fence, but then it's also a broken fence, so sadly, I don't think we're gonna use it. I would have liked using it otherwise, if it would have been a bit less borked, but like this, I don't think so. And I hear, Jelly, I mean, I've been managing to watch very little Twitch lately. Sadly, that includes most people in my chat as well. But I hear you're actually making progress on your map and you're close to finishing. Is that correct? Because if so, I cannot believe it. That does sound like fake news to me. Have you seen? I only watched a little earlier, but I was a bit busy today, so not long. CPP was streaming earlier, and he was showcasing a new mod that automates part of the map making process. So with everything that automates, I'm gonna immediately be a bit questionable about the quality of it. But have you heard or seen anything of it? I mean, it looked alright, but then it was difficult to see as he didn't zoom in super close or anything. So I found it a bit difficult to judge. But yes, he was showcasing that mod earlier, so I'm not sure. what we think. If anybody was watching a bit more about it, what was the impression? Welcome in, Triton. Nice to see you, mate. Now comes a harsh question. Is the guy that is making the mod actually able to program, or is it just Claude getting instructions? Because I'm not against using AI as a tool, but I don't think AI can replace entire knowledge for you. So I'm gonna be skeptical till I learn more as well. How are you doing today, Triton? Yeah, try it. Can't hurt, honestly. And Triton, today I'm gonna bring you absolute high action gameplay. We're gonna mostly spend the time in this stream probably redrawing curbs. We're also gonna do some other things, but mainly we're gonna redraw curbs, which I'm sure is entertaining. Yeah, no, hold on. That's exactly, but you're not understanding. I use AI all the time to automate small things, and I agree. I used to do exactly that. If I have JSON files, I always let AI write it to me, but I also can read Python, right? I'm not a proper programmer, but I understand what's happening. I'm not against automating things with AI and get that like cut silly tediousness that is not worth it. I just think it gets problematic when it's a mod where potentially it can cause issues with a save or something. And then if that person does not understand their own mod and it's just made with AI, then it's where it gets problematic, right? Because it's not a problem to use AI as a tool when you understand the topic you're working with. But yes, if you use AI and you have absolutely no clue what you're doing, that's, I would say, trashy. That's very similar because you can also use AI to model in Blender, right? And I would argue that for somebody who knows a proper Blender workflow and knows how clean topology it looks, that's acceptable as a speed up in process for certain tasks where it makes sense and it actually works out well and the topology is fine. But if you have no clue how a proper result should look and you just tell AI to make you a 3D model, then that's about the quality of your 3D model gonna be it later on as well, right? And it does feel with code that is very similar. Because correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there is a single big successful code mod that is AI generated without the maker of it having programming knowledge that has been successful. I think all of the AI mods pretty much just vanish eventually because yeah, as soon as the first problem comes up, people don't know how to fix it. Really? Why did they get mad at you? I would always like everything that's tedious and annoying, AI is perfect for that. I'm not like fundamentally against AI. I think it has its place if used correctly. I mean, I actually ironically, Triton, I know you do vibe code a little sometimes as well, but you're exactly the example. You understand programming, right? Like you are able to understand what the AI is doing and what it's giving you. And I don't think then it's a problem. I mean, quite the opposite, I guess, in any programmer working experience, you will use AI to some degree nowadays. And maybe I overread it, but did you answer me, Trashy, to where your bird's nest was for? Because I don't think you did. Maybe you did and I missed it. Which I'm a bad streamer. Even if I have 2 viewers, I still manage to miss messages in chat. I'm not saying I don't like trash can modeling things that are not for City Skylines, but I'm absolutely gonna say here, I think as soon as you're not modeling for City Skylines, I'm disappointed. See, Trashy, it's not that I just missed your message or something. I try to ignore you out of bad malice, so you feel bad. Oh, it's for a 3D print. I see. That's cute, actually. Yeah, no, I must have missed out because I guess you did tell me, but I missed out. Does he have his own printer? I'm not. I'm gonna say I'm slightly jealous of that. I would love to have some access to a 3D printer. Was that all? Oh, here we're still missing, I think. Otherwise, we're done. Yeah, I was. See, Rookie already asked the question. I was gonna hit out soon as well. Though I'm in danger asking these kind of questions because I have so many started things that I need to release, but didn't yet. That I'm sitting in a glass house asking people when they're gonna finish stuff. Well, it's fine to take breaks as long as you're generally still on it and haven't abandoned it. See, Jelly, the thing is, I'm not even kidding. I do wanna one day finish my map. That is not no cap or anything. If we don't play Los Vagos anymore, I will finish my map. The problem is, I love Los Vagos. I just thought that Los Vagos is gonna die when we get the editor. So I thought I'm forced to switch map and prepared it. But then Los Vagos didn't die, and we could keep playing here. And yeah, now the truth is, I will probably never finish this because I fucking put single fucking curbstones in my builds everywhere. So, yes, are we really expecting me to ever finish this build with the speed I'm building on? We're we aren't, right? I'm sure we can agree on this never being finished. Yeah, on wholeheartedly, trashy. While I'm not a rail enthusiast or something, as a kid I had a model train and I loved it, and I always wanted to have like a cool miniature world in the cellar of my parents. But then obviously that is for rich people, and you cannot, like, I don't know, to buy all of those models. That is not something you can do as a kid. And as an adult, I both think I'm not enough into rail stuff, as well as even as an adult, I don't think I have enough money to build my big miniature world. But in City Skylines, you can kinda do so, and it doesn't even cost money. Well, I guess it does, it costs electricity, but that's it. If I win in the lottery, then I would be willing to do all of this manually and rebuild a model together as well. Sadly, that's out of my budget. But then I'm gonna say one thing as somebody who's uncled 7 times. If any of my nieces or nephews ask me if I want to play Lego with them, I'm not gonna say I'm the one who's happier about being asked to play Lego than they are about me joining them to play Lego. But holy shit, even though I'm in my 30s, I still very much enjoy building a nice spaceship. Okay, yeah, we have a deal there. Hold on. In general, we do have a deal, Trashy, but we need to have an exception in there. If I win in the lottery, a €2 rubbellos doesn't count, okay? If it's an actual lottery jackpot, sure, but if it's some, well, I never played lottery in my life, and I don't think that's gonna change, but I think I have to cancel the deal. If this is the offer I'm getting, I think the deal is off, Trashy. And now comes an interesting one. I think this might be a reason why I decided against this fence initially. How does it curve? It curves in pieces. We're not loving that, but it's fine. It's fine. Probably have to redraw this once or twice to get this to look appropriate. Honestly, good enough. We can absolutely live with that. This one scared me for a moment because I see the minimum width of this fence is not far off of what we need here, but it does work out. Unironically, I guess nobody outside of Germans will understand this, but Rubbellos is the only lottery I have ever played in my life, and it's one of those where I guess in the US you should know it as scratch lottery or something like that. Honestly, I would pay €1 just to scratch open something without being able to win. I just really enjoy scratching off those things. So Rubbellos has never been about wanting to win anything for me. It's been about the joy of scratching open the thingy. Yeah, who made these curbs? Elgando? Who do you know the maker of these
Latinos
by
up here.
chance? And can we have a word with that gentleman? Because whoever made these curbs is costing me a lot of time.
That's cute.
Because we will curb
I
out this
wish we had a
entire
cactus.
goddamn build. And you want to know something even worse about the curbs, Elgando? I think we already had this in the past.
Get the rocks. Yeah. Abdul? Yeah.
I'm not
Get the
saying
rocks.
the worst thing about all of these curbs is that the maker did this. Whoever made these, I don't want to name any names, but whoever made these, why has that person decided they need to draw on buildings? Was that necessary?
Place an
This
electricity box.
G87 guy must be an absolute idiot. I cannot say anything else. But welcome in, Jefe. Nice to see you, cutie. And of course, I will place an electricity box because nothing I like more than placing electricity boxes. The problem is we're actually slowly running out of space for electricity boxes, even in this new city already. But we can man. I was
Place
gonna
an
say here is a
electricity
perfect
box.
spot, but there is electricity boxes everywhere, guys. Please have mercy. Huh?
Place an electricity box.
See, when I guys tell you that bullying is my love language, I hope you guys can agree that that goes only one way. That like I am the one who loves you guys by bullying you. But then if you guys bully me back, that is not loving or nice or fun. That is cruelty. I will go as far as say that is actual cruelty. And yes, I have the road signs. After we place about 800 electricity boxes, we can have a look at them together. But first, I need to find places to. Everywhere where I look and I'm like, hey, this would be a good place, there is already. I'm not kidding. I will have to build an electricity box factory or something, else I cannot keep this up otherwise. I think we probably have
Place an
some here.
electricity
Yeah,
box.
we have some here already, so of course we need more on this side of the building. I am, I am. There is everywhere, guys. Wherever I zoom in, we already have electricity. We have to go elsewhere. Gaga's mansion definitely needs some good old electricity, right? Okay, there we go. And now it's 3 more. Did I count correctly? Jelly, you know what? I actually like that. I think now we either have 2 or 3 left, as I'm an idiot and I can't count. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. But thanks to Jelly having that idea, this is gonna be a lot less
I am
painful
moving in, boy.
than the other ones. Gaga keeps buying the entirety of Los Vagos. Hold on, we're gonna do this in a moment, Gaga, but I need to. Even though this is quick, we're gonna not be lazy, because that's not our style here. Okay, that's 3 electric. Yes, yes. That's what I'm saying. We're not gonna be lazy, and this is not the way it's gonna stay. And first things first, we remove this word rock there. And now, some people who have not used this yet. Okay, keep it in mind,
If I have
Gaga.
to
If
listen
I
to
if
this
I
bloody
don't if
narrator
I
say the
don't
same thing one more time, I'm
think
gonna quit
of
and go
it
play
after
Cities.
having finished this, call me out, please, so we do it properly. But for now, I will do this. This is a mod that maybe some people are wondering what this is and how I'm doing this and why this is so much cooler than the normal version of EIA that most people are using. This is a beta version of EIA that Triton is working on, and as you guys can tell, it is amazing. It makes it very easy and lovely to rotate and move stuff a lot easier and quicker than in the past. Yes, Triton went in and made proper gizmos, and everything is very easy, and you can even, which I have to admit, this works a lot better than I imagined it to be. You can even drag and drop here. Triton made fun of me already because when he told me that this is how he wants to do it, I told him, I don't think that is gonna be nice to use. I don't think I like the dragging. Turns out I love the dragging and I use it all the time. Yeah, it is a version only for betas. That is absolutely true. That's why I immediately started using it, Cuboid. You have read the situation completely right. Which color palette? This? This. This is hover colors. This is what you mean. This mod, highly recommend if you're not using it. This is one of the mods that I would recommend everybody to use, but I think you know hover color, right? Hover color is a mod that makes all of this stuff not have this big ugly blue outline like it usually is. Like you can see that I see actually what I'm doing in my game. Well, you probably don't much. If we, how do we reset this? Yeah, this is, oh, why are we still in the preset? See, I never use a mod much because I just put a preset and I liked it and then I never adjusted anything. But as you can see, you can adjust how visible stuff is. You can change the colors of it and stuff like that, which makes it a lot easier to see what you're doing than with a vanilla one. Is a great mod. Indeed, would highly recommend it. Gaga is correct. Now we're gonna go ahead and play some Rust. Have you already, maybe I'm not allowed to ask this, but I'm gonna do so anyway. Have you already published the update to Moss and Rust? If so, I have not replaced it yet. Shame on me. I'm still on the local version that I've been using for a long time now. I will get a new version after this stream for everybody who is not in game already and wants some nice new stuff. Elgando has been working on an upgrade for his Moss and Rust pack and added bigger variations, which I guess is not what we need here anyway. So not the end of the world that we're doing this manually instead. These are all too big. There is one very small one that I really like. These are so soft that they basically fit everywhere. Good enough? This is all of your electricity boxes redeemed. And I'm not saying people who redeem electricity boxes preferably belong in the same container, but you guys belong in the same container. I didn't say that. My roommate stole my microphone and said this real quick. I would obviously never say anything mean like that. And now, Gaga, you said you want to have the cemetery. Do you mean this cemetery? Because we have that cemetery is not really built out yet. So if I as your realtor would advise you not to buy this one yet. You can buy this, but I don't know how it will look. And maybe it's going to be a really shitty small graveyard. I have other offers for you, though. We have one very small graveyard down here that is unowned. Also, what the heck? Why do we have a traffic jam like this here? Sir, what are you doing? I'm not gonna judge. Well, Jelly gave me the idea to put all of the electricity boxes inside of this container. Yes, it has indeed been Jelly's idea, because I nearly started crying over all of the electricity boxes. So, but Gaga, is this something I can sell you to? Because this is built out in a nice graveyard. I have another graveyard not very far from it that is also mostly built out. This one. Or I mean, you can also buy this, but again, this one no guarantee on how it's gonna look because it's not yet built out. See, if you want them all, I recommend you
I am
start
moving in, boy.
buying some of the. You have
I am moving
two.
in,
Okay,
boy.
you have three. Okay, I see. I'm gonna put a very unbiased name on this because clearly this is not for the wrong reasons. But yes, you will get all of the graveyards. Why you like that people so much, I don't understand, and I find it a bit questionable. But I'm not to judge. You buy whatever houses you wanna buy. So you bought all three of them. That is correct, right? Again, this one, no guarantee. It's far from being done. This might look very different later on, but we will have some kind of symmetry. Are we happy with the fence choice we made? Do we think this fence looks good on this? I guess so. If people disappear in Los Vagos sooner or later, I'm not gonna say it's Gaga's fault, but it's definitely Gaga's fault. Yeah, it's missing bollards, but I kinda on purpose, because there's been so many bollard times lately that I need to hold back on placing bollards, so I have bollard times open. And this park to me is hilarious because whoever made this park made all of this, I think, park area, which means that people lie and sit everywhere. And I'm not saying this seems a little uncomfortable, but I personally maybe would prefer to lie down here or here. But sure, it's fine to lie down in the middle of the
Bola time.
pavement as well. If that's what people prefer, then who am I to judge? Okay, Jefe, you get a big bowler time, but I actually will do anti-bowler time first, because not only did I redecide on the parking, I also don't like these bollards. I don't. These bollards are not the bollards I want to use. So we yeet out the ugly wrong ones real quick. Well, I deleted some of the grass on accident, but shit happens. Did we place them anywhere here already? Yes, of course we did. Welcome in, Nyoko. See, Nyoko makes me feel a bit guilty because I know Nyoko loves nothing more than airplanes. But then my airport is pretty much abandoned the moment I finish building it, which was prior to editor. So I don't think I can make Nyoko proud with my airport anymore. But the good news is Nyoko might or might not have promised me that he's gonna make more cute new smaller planes in future. So I might be looking forward to that. And welcome in, cutie. How are you doing today? Actually, Nyoko, you should like the music we're playing today. Usually I play more calm or chill music. Today it's dancehall days. So I hope it's a proper fit. Yeah, I knew it. I know all of this is gonna be your jam, like the entire. I mean, I'm sure. Maybe actually not, but I would guess you really like Flash FM, and I assume you know what Flash FM is. This basically is a Flash FM playlist, slightly cleaned up with a few titles I'd like a bit less, but otherwise is entirely Flash FM. Indeed, my beloved. As much as all GTA radio channels have been games, nothing will ever compare to Flash FM, the single best GTA radio channel there ever was. Well, see, even better then. I fear the music is also gonna be the most exciting about this stream today, is we're gonna do mostly curb placement today, so you're in for real high action gameplay, is all I can say. If you have a weak heart, better sit down and calm yourself down a little, else the adrenaline rush of watching this high action gameplay might knock you off your feet. When Rookie, yeah, I know you would. I kind of overread it, but I know you would said that CPP is doing the map thing at a specific time. I don't think I'll personally will try it. I think I have enough map maker people who are close to me that will try it out and let me know what they think about it. So I will let other people pre-test. I don't know. My expectation is quite low, to be honest, with anything like that. I don't think any automatic process can compete with a proper well-made custom map. Though I'm also glad to be proven wrong if I am. Did we do it? Did we fence everything, pillar everything, curb everything? I actually hope PP tries it as well, but I also hope that someone who's using QGIS tries it. So I hope Rafterman or Winter or somebody like that tries it as well. Because my big problem with terraining has never been that terraining is tedious, which was CPP's initial point when he was talking about the thing. That was never my problem with terraining. I think terraining is super quick and easy. My problem with terraining is that the terrain resolution is garbage, right? And I'm not saying I expect this to also have garbage terrain resolution, but I absolutely also expect this to have terrain garbage or terrain that is not great. Like I'm not sure. Well, I also really I need to correct myself. I like terraining for prototyping. I think it's an amazing tool to quickly figure a good area for your map and all of that. Then I do think if you have the possibility to get higher resolution data than what terraining offers, you absolutely should. But I also understand that QGIS is infuriating and looks complicated at first. But I don't know. If, as somebody who has tried both terraining Heath map or Heath maps and proper QGIS 1 meter LiDAR data, it looks so different in game. And terraining definitely cannot compete there. Which does not mean that not using terraining is a problem. People should use whatever they like and feel comfortable with. But I personally would always prefer QGIS for that reason. But it also depends, because Jenny, you invested a shitload of time into your map afterwards and like re-terraformed and changed everything. At that point, terraining is really just a start point for you as well, right? But then there is a lot of people who basically just render out stuff and turn it into a map. And for that, I don't think terraining is that great. Yeah, see, that's the reason why I initially wanted to make maps, and then I sadly had to learn that the terraforming tools in cities are so inaccurate that I never felt like I can make art the way I want to, because I felt too limited by the accuracy of the tools. Which you remember you had a what kind of Jurassic Park? Was that Jurassic Park? I think you were playing Jurassic Park, and I was in awe when you were making map in that game or terraforming in that game. Cause the map, if that was that the map editor or was that while gameplay? I'm not even sure anymore. But the terraforming in that game and the landscaping, god damn it, was I jealous as Cities Skylines player. Is this deep enough? I don't think so. We want this a bit further. I mean, I do think it's not comparable to cities because obviously in Jurassic Park everything happens at a way smaller scale, right? So probably some of that is simply not doable at a scale this big. I don't need it to be as good as in Jurassic Park world, but maybe a bit better than what we have right now. Sure, why not? If you want critic, if you don't want critic, then just upload it. The truth with maps is, and I always feel sorry about this because there is so many talented and great map makers in our community, and I basically don't play any of them ever because I spent the last 1.5 years on this map. Did you guys see this again? Did you just see this? I don't know what this building keeps turning black. If we look away for a while, please don't not do it now. Yeah, look at it. Why is it? And then it turns into color again. Why is that happening? What is wrong with that building? I don't think it used to do this. Maybe it used to. Yeah, if you want harsh critic, gladly. Like I think I'm a harsh critic, so I warn people beforehand. I'm not a harsh critic to be a bitch. I'm a harsh critic because I think you need harsh critic to get better. So sure. Email, not really. Just upload it somewhere. I don't want to give you my email address, no offense, because it would absolutely and totally dox me. Yeah, I'm gonna send you a link, or you can just upload it and then send me that link. Or Cuboid is just gonna tell you to be a normal person and use a file hoster. I mean, as a German person, I'm more likely to give you my fax number than giving you my email address. We Germans love ancient technology and we love our privacy. So you guys are so cute together. Always, always lovely. Why did I draw that curve so shit? Sometimes I manage to draw these curves in somewhat quickly and they look alright. Sometimes I have to redraw it 100 times to get a proper result. I don't know why I'm so inconsistent with these. I did not mean to draw that. Why are you here? I'm gonna blame this incompetence on the hot weather. Surely this is not my fault, but it's 30 degrees outside and my brain is melting. So I'm innocent. It's not my incompetence at all. It's weather effects, okay? All right, Rookie. Thanks for tuning in and have a nice night, cutie. So actually here I will have a question for you guys that I couldn't answer myself yesterday. If we look at this, would this part have a curb or not? It depends, right? I guess in more rural areas, probably something like this would not have a curb. Like, I mean, these more natural stretches here, would we go in and curb this off and curb all of this off? Probably no, right? We'll probably just curb off the proper paved side. You would also say no, because I wasn't sure, is why I stopped putting curbs down here. Because I decided, I don't know, I would need to ask my viewers who are generally more clever than I am. And you say no, so I guess we leave it. Otherwise, I have to say, I love this. I passed quite a bit of this already. Do you guys see how much usage we actually have in these wide walkways here? Oh shit, and Trashy is gone already. I should have asked Trashy or shown Trashy this earlier as well. Because not only do we have his gay stick here, we also have made a cute graffiti and a gay flag for him. It's fine. I think Data Knase already helped me. This is the part I meant. Like in more natural areas like this, I'm never sure if I keep curbing or if I just curb these parking lots and then leave these places open in a place like here. And I think probably I'm not gonna curb it. This is an entirely new town. This is not even a part of a new town. So probably, because I only had a single stream on this city so far, we're in the very early stages of it. The reason we're building this city is because first we built this favela, right? I think you've seen this probably. And then Gaga said he wants to be a part of the favela as well, and he's a man of the streets, and he wants to live in the ghetto. And then he ordered me to build this mansion, which I'm not gonna say that does not scream like a man of the streets and living in the ghetto to me, but but I'm not gonna judge Gaga. He does whatever he wants. I'm also not gonna judge why Gaga has some weird small logistic center right outside here where surely nothing fishy is going on. But I didn't like that none of this has any framing, and I didn't like that this entire canyon up here was empty. So one of the things I try to bring into this build more and more is multi-cities, right? I actually want cities to interact with each other. The city, for example, is so small. This won't have any schools. It's why I'm very happy that we got on this school bus, because anybody in this city who wants to go to a school has to drive to the next bigger city, which is gonna be this one, which is also not finished. And I guess you could say this is part of Los Vagos still. In my head, it really isn't anymore. In my head, Los Vagos kinda goes up till maybe here. And then this is like in between rural land that's not really belonging anywhere. And then here is where, in my eyes, this city is starting. So this is going to be a very, very small city. And then probably this city from down here, I will probably pull up this entire hill and kind of morph together with whatever this ugly shit here is. Obviously, this looks horrible and should be ignored for now, but I take quite a long time to figure out how I want areas to look. And then I actually think I'm fairly fast detailing. I shouldn't say this as I'm slow when I play, but I actually think I take longer for the figuring out areas part than for the actual build out part. But yes, this city is pretty much entirely new, and we're just working it out. The only part of it that is somewhat finished is this. This entire city is gonna be a bit of a twist homage. There is some other assets in here as well, but the absolute
am moving in, boy.
majority of these cute downtown buildings are all made by Trist. So we're probably gonna call this Little Australia or something eventually. But yeah, we're working it very slowly. And gladly claim whatever you want. In this city, there is only a single building claimed so far. Maybe you want something else as well, but if you want something in this city, there is little chance that you are gonna choose something that's chosen already. You need me to realtor for you, or you have an idea? What big thing? This? This? In the middle would be this, or this. This is a train station. This is a park. Maybe you meant this. This. Either of these. This is supposed to be some kind of hotel. And this is just a normal kind of Western mall that, for some reasons, we have companies moving in and out here a lot. So it keeps respawning the ugly vanilla brandings that we obviously don't want. This one or the hotel next to it? This is one. This is two. Always helps me to put numbers, because then... Oh, that train station, sure, that's also still free. Your train station is a bit emo, though. It sometimes turns dark, and then it doesn't anymore. Why it does so, I don't know. But sure, you're the first to take, so there you go. It is yours. But yes, one of the reasons why I started this city is because I wanted some proper framing in the background. And then I have all of these surfaces you can see in here. I made these surfaces, and it does indeed help me to have a nice city where I can actually use surfaces proper. Because Los Vagos is so sandy that it doesn't really make for a good surface showcase. And then I decided that in this city we can probably showcase a lot of our assets, because this we can screenshot here later, though obviously not built out. But this town hall I made, and then I placed some of the assets that I still need to finish off, but that I will want to have in here as well later. So it's gonna be a bit of a screenshot slash showcase city that demands a bit more cleanliness than Los Vagos has to offer in the other parts. So that's kinda the reasons why we started this. And I also think it's really nice to have multiple different cities in the same map. Like I know a lot of people, if they get bored of their save, they then start a different save. They start a new map. They dive into. I don't like that. I just, if I am tired of a specific area in my save, I just go to the other side of the map and build something there. It's like, I don't know. My save is my baby, yeah, right? Like Los Vagos is my baby, and I don't wanna spend time in a different save than this. This is where I wanna make progress and make it cuter. So instead of, I don't know, burning out on finishing this favela that I still really wanna finish, but I was a bit tired of this. So I decided to just take a break and jump over. And I see there is an ad break starting, and I did not have a break yet. So I'm gonna send you guys on a quick UFO ride for 3, 4, 5 minutes while I run to the toilet and grab something to drink real quick, and I'll be back with you cuties after the ad break. There we go. Proper UFO perspective. I hope you guys enjoy your ride. I'll be back with you in like 3 to 5 minutes. I'll be right back. Hi cuties, I'm back. And welcome in Shilka. Sorry, the moment you came in, the ad break started, and I had wanted to have a quick break. Nice to see you, cutie. And I heard somebody followed me. I only heard the sound, but I was on the toilet, so I couldn't see it. But very much appreciated for that. GV Travis, appreciated, mate. I can try to explain it, but Los Vagos there has a weird history. This is my playlist, Linda. Don't try to claim credit for my good music taste. See, this is my Lance Vance Flash of a playlist that is like 10 years old or something. So not yours. Sorry. But yes, I can give you a quick tour of Los Vagos and its history. I have to say, I don't really plan much, and this does not really have much real life inspiration. I just built what I think about. I wanted some weird desert redneck paradise. All of this is inspired by things. This is inspired by Utah and Arizona, but obviously it didn't stay with that. I kinda just built what I want. It has a lot of, how do you say, GTA inspiration, I guess, or Rockstar inspiration in general, because I very much share their philosophy of it having to be dense. I don't like real life as a as an example for Cities Skylines, because I think real life is way too big and too scratched, right? And I think in Los Vagos, I highly care about every block telling a story. And if the story does not get more interesting from making another block of the same thing, then I don't think it deserves to be in the build. As again, I don't want this to be like real life or realistic. I want this to be a fun map for a open world game, pretty much. Like I would imagine this would make for a nice GTA map. And I guess the history of it is very much that I'm an awful dictator who does not invest any money in proper infrastructure or dirt roads or anything. But I invest a lot of money in my nice palace we have over here. All of this area here, this have been the earliest part of Los Vagos. And then since there is a lot of history that grown to it, but generally most of it follows the a bit crazy rednecky Arizona influence. And then one of the things I highly cared about is that there actually is a reason for the city to be here. Well, we're gonna have these spawning trains here because we're missing. I don't like this happening. We're missing a train connection here that I had no time to build yet. So sometimes we have deadlocks here. But regardless of the deadlock and the probably soon despawning trains we have here, I care a lot about a city feeling realistic, right? So while I don't care about actual background story of things too much, I do care about context that makes something feel believable. So for me, this is the reason why Los Vagos exists, right? Like
Same
in the
thing we do
past,
every night.
this is where Los
Try to
Vagos
take over the
has
world.
started existing. And you can take the district takeover in 1 second after I finish to give a bit of a overview. I won't forget, I hope at least. Otherwise, gladly remind me. But yes, this is where I imagined Los Vagos to have to come in existence. So this is the old and now abandoned mine that I imagine has been the first reason why a city came into place here together with a railroad, right? And then this is the more modern, still used part of the quarry, and here we have a mine, so it's still a fairly industrial town, I guess. And from there on, really, we build a lot of just fitting stuff. I struggle putting a proper history behind all of this, because I would say any small part has its own history. So I could spend like half an hour just talking about my botanic garden, or just talking about, I don't know, the art gallery or small districts, but really nothing here has a proper reason beside I had a silly idea in my head to build it out. And maybe I will have to ask you things about that, Triton. But first, before I forget, which is a district you want to take over? Data Knase. It's not everywhere, but I would say, no matter where you zoom in on this build, with a few exceptions, everything is detailed. Like I quite literally have detailed every backyard, every small place of this build. I'm really slow, right? Like this build is roughly 1.5 years old, a bit younger than that. And it's still not a very big build. Yes, we do have a second town there, and we have this ugly whatever in the middle here. But yeah, we're making slow progress, building out the entire map. And yes, you can choose whatever district you want with the districts. There is a reason why they are so cheap. They are not yours forever. You can steal any district from anybody, but anybody can steal them back as well. With the districts, that always has been the thing. So roads and houses, I permanently they are so if you buy a road, it's your road forever. If you buy a property, it's your property forever. But the districts, I want to be cheap, and I want it to be a bit like a gang fight, I guess, where you guys can take over Los Vagos quite literally and steal places from each other. So let me know if you want me to zoom in closer on an area. You can steal Rezara's favela. He's gonna probably be annoyed about it and steal it back. But sure, you can steal it. Let's see how long this actually gonna stay yours, because I guess the favela is probably gonna be, I don't know, interesting. Yeah, I guess you would like this. But then, in all fairness, this is why I earlier said I don't think there is any proper background history towards my city. Because yes, clearly, if we are in Arizona, this would not be happening, right? But I don't want to be limited. I don't want to feel like, oh, now I built in a certain style. Now I cannot allow myself to build a favela anymore. I think is a game, and I can do whatever I want. I might build a European city somewhere back here one day, right? So I don't know. I just match fairly well. The one thing I'm very happy with in the favela is that I do think it actually, obviously, there is a lot of unfinished parts around here, but I do think it kind of fits well. Like I wholeheartedly do think, even though this is a very weird contrast, I do think this kinda works. Kinda. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you got robbed in this, because This is owned, or Gaga owns this tower over here, where obviously suddenly it's a bit fancier over here. So yeah, I wouldn't trust anything. I don't know what Gaga is doing here, but Gaga opened some interesting business over here. I don't know what these people are doing here. I have obviously nothing to do with this, but I think Gaga has opened some interesting businesses here. I mean, out of all builds that I done recently, this definitely is the most detailed and one that has gotten the most love. I personally still don't think this is finished, so I would have to go back to this, but I wanted to do something else and just detailing this out for a while. But what I love so much about this is that I actually like put a lot of effort in having all the houses accessible, right? Like we have like a lot of small inner yards here, and we actually have connection through everything everywhere. So I wholeheartedly have spent a lot of time on this. And parts of it were very fun, parts of it were also a bit tedious and annoying, but I think it paid off. Like even areas like this, right? And I built small terraces in so people can reach here, and then we have staircases who connect to other areas everywhere. So I might have went a bit overboard. Yeah, I know, I know. They have not been in the past, now they are. Yes, but also I don't think anything in my city is super logical. It looks logical on the first. Thank you so much for that follow. I'm in slow, so I missed the name. Let me check that up real quick. DLV Lotus, appreciated. Very nice. And thank you. I'm honored to hear that. But what I was gonna say to Triton is I don't think anything in my city is realistic, right? Like if you look at my city, then nothing makes sense. Like I can give so many examples. If you look at this is the core of my city, right? This is my downtown. This single block here. Obviously, this is way under scale. Makes no sense. The train station alone is as big as the downtown of the city. I think scale is very irrelevant in this game. I actually think realistic scale hurts you, if anything, because realistic cities have a lot of boring places, right? A suburb is 40 blocks of boring single family homes. I don't think it makes it more interesting to build 40 blocks of single family homes. So I built one, and then I'm fine, then I'm done. And I do care about this looking realistic. It has to have a illusion of being realistic. So if you look at this, you can be like, oh, this looks realistic. If you ever think about anything in my build, nothing in this build is realistic. But appreciated a lot, DLV. There is a lot of really good and talented builders in this game nowadays, so that's a big, big compliment, honestly. But yes, I guess if we're talking about logic, then Gaga makes a good point. We have UFOs flying around in this city, if we can spot them somewhere. Well, somewhere over this, we definitely have UFOs flying. Where they are right now, I cannot tell you. But I mean, I guess we have this UFO, but it's not actually flying. This one is just stealing cows. This is one of the oldest map in the game ever. This is the original Rafterman map. I think it's called Black Canyon. I think it's called Black Canyon. I'm not sure if I can see that anywhere, but if you go into the Rafterman maps, which is one of the most amazing and talented map makers in our entire community. And you look at his older maps, there is one desert map, and this is the one desert map from him. I don't think this is broken. Really, are you sure about that? If you want, gladly join my Discord and I can check it later and send you the link of it. If you want to do so, just type exclamation more Discord in chat and then I can send you the link. And this definitely works. Never had any issue with it. The map is very big. One of the things that is a bit of a downside of this map is I think it's 240 megabytes or something by itself. So it will fill up your hard drive quite quick, which I don't think is a big problem. I just delete my old saves every once in a while. But outside of that, I never had an issue with this. Maybe Skype says it's broken because it's not. It is not a desert map, right? This map does require map texture replacer. And map texture replacer was broken for a while. It works now again, but maybe you looked at it in that time where map texture replacer was broken, and for that reason they marked the map broken. Otherwise, I cannot really explain myself why it would have been marked broken, because it definitely never was. So that confuses me a little. It was broken for a while, and yes, that basically meant you couldn't play this map because then it has grass surface, right? Like we can do that, but in that time where map texture replacer was broken, this is how the map looks, right? Which, sure, I'm not saying this is a bad map. I think you can totally build on this as well. I'm not sure it's doing my build a favor, to be honest. I'm I'm gonna say this is quite questionable. So yes, in the time where map texture replacer was broken, I could not play Los Vagos and was just making assets instead. But now it's fine. The map is perfectly fine. I have to admit, the theme we've been using, this rocky sandy, it has not gotten prettier from the rework. We might want to have a look at that as well. I never really went back on the settings, but I don't like how extremely small and detailed and deep the normal map is for the sand. I think it actually looked a bit more balanced and cleaner before, but that also is not on the theme, right? The theme that I'm using was made, I don't know, like a year ago or something. And then they or IFS changed a lot of things about it, so now it's a bit more complicated. Otherwise, I do think this map is still beautiful, and especially with texture replacer, you can make absolutely nice things as well. I do think I've used the map a lot different than anticipated, because I think Rafterman wants you to build here, and Rafterman wants you to build here, and Rafterman wants you to build here. I went very far away from the starting point of the map. I wanted to build inside of this canyon. That was what I really wanted. And when I say canyon, it's always a bit difficult to understand how much terrain this map actually has. With shadows, you see it a bit better. But I like being really constrained by terrain. It really helps my creativity and imagination of these things when I'm limited. So for me, it's really helpful to have little buildable area in space. And I find it a lot easier to figure what I want to do. I think he has seen very early stages of it. I have messaged with Rafterman a very little in the past, but not much of it, I think. I don't think Rafterman really knows who I am, to be honest, outside of the few questions I asked him. Which is funny, because I don't think I have ever played a map that was not a Rafterman map. Which is not because I don't think there is not many other great map makers. It's just that I play maps so long that I have literally only played 3 maps since I started playing cities, and all 3 of those were from Rafterman. But it was also that all 3 of them were exactly like fitting to what I want. I barely go out and I'm like, oh, I'm looking for a random interesting new map, but I have an idea of what kind of build I want. And then I try to find a map that fits that. And back then I wanted some desert paradise, and this was the only proper desert map we had available back then. And it's still a great map, I have to say. Like, even though I'm sure Rafterman himself would say he can do things better nowadays, this has aged very well and is still absolutely solid. Now, if you want to see more of this build again, like if you join my Discord, I'm sure you can, like in the screenshot channel of my Discord, there is other people posting there. But if you search for my name, then you would see a lot, like more detailed, lot vago shots as well. Or if you have an area of my city you would like to have a closer look of, then gladly scream and I'll show it to you. Oh, and Triton, I forgot your question earlier. You asked me if you can buy the entire mine. I allowed you to buy the entire old mine because I see that as one complex. I will not allow you to buy the entire modern mine or quarry. What you can totally do is buy every building. You buildings are very cheap in my channel, and you watch often enough that I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem for you to just buy every single building in those. The problem is if I let you guys build entire areas, I took multiple months to build that mine. So you guys will buy up my city quicker than I can build stuff. So I will need to slow you down slightly. Soon the answer to can I buy property is gonna be yes soon, but everything is sold out. You need to wait 2 months till I catch up and build a few new places. And are you looking specifically for desert inspiration, or are you looking for general rural town inspiration? Because for both, I have other great creators for you. I would recommend you to have a look at. See, with police, you're gonna have a hard time on this channel. Because while you guys think I'm a big dictator on this channel, the real big dictator on this channel is my cute girlfriend. She has bought every single police station so far. I do think we have a few others that she has not yet bought, but she definitely has a proper police headquarter. And she already bought the place where in future I want to build a prison, as she had to clarify that I have no power on my own Twitch channel and she's a real dictator, I guess. So with police it's gonna be difficult. I can provide you a smaller police station somewhere up here. But yeah, the main police station is sadly taken farms. I have many farms. Yeah, I know you wanted that prison, and that prison is also still far from being done because I need to finish the model in Blender first. And I've been feeling like building other stuff, so I've not really made any progress on that. I don't think any of the fields are super big, but I would say the biggest farm we have is this. It's the Brokeback Mountain range. You seem like a gay cowboy to me, Triton. So maybe you like the Brokeback Mountain range. Just an offer. I have different farms I can show you, but this is probably the nicest farm I have. Rural builds in general, I mean, the original and best desert map player and my favorite cities content creator is Red Kool-Aid. I'm sure you have heard or know of Red Kool-Aid. If not, please immediately close my stream and watch better content on YouTube instead. And check out Real Kool-Aid. It's sadly kinda inactive. Sometimes he is kinda back and then he's inactive again. But Red Kool-Aid is absolutely amazing. And then in terms of rural towns, obviously Canadian
I am
Moose is
moving in, boy.
also a big, big, great inspiration for all of these things. So for rural builds, that would wait. I'm gonna if you would just be honest with me. I don't want to be annoying, but just because it's easier. Do you mind joining my Discord? Yes or no? Because if yes, then I will just send you all of this properly after the stream. If you prefer not to use Discord, then I can gladly type it to you here real quick as well. Yeah, I can write a name. It's like this. Is Red Cool Aid? think I think this is how his name is written. And I'm sure you find it on YouTube if you Google for it. Otherwise, Dataknase, you are in my Discord. I can post a link there later. He is in my Discord as well, but it's like he's not active there or in any other Discord, I believe. But is my very favorite cities content creator. And you're taking it. Again, I also have different farms, but I don't really have a giant farm with super many fields. Most of them are kinda rural like this. Question is, would we be able to touch this building? I have bad news for you, Triton. I lied to you. You cannot buy this farm. This farm is already owned by Michael. And you said close to the. We don't really have farms close to the mine. Because you said you want a farm close to the mine. Don't really have any farming down here. Our farms all start in the further area of Los Vagos. So the very first farms we have in Los Vagos are these. Maybe this is a farm you like. Or maybe these, but these are not very big. But this is a cute chicken farm. Yeah, my bad. I thought that farm was untaken, but it was. This is big storage. This, maybe. I'm not sure which one you mean. This farm here is selling tractors. Maybe you want a tractor shop. This one, or this one. This also. Yeah, no worries. It's just that for anything like sending links or something, it's so much easier to do so after stream than in the meanwhile. Especially because my computer is pretty shit, so I don't like to tab out or in of the game while I'm streaming. This is the one you want, Triton. You said you want a big one. This actually is a very small one, but it is a cute one. It's a big farm in heart, okay? Oh, you meant this one. Did I mess up? If I mess up, then we can reverse this as well. It's just so difficult because you always sure you can have both, but you also need to pay twice. I'm gonna be a harsh dictator on these.
I
I
am moving in,
take
boy.
too long to build out this city, so I will make you have to pay for the things. Okay, there you go. We're actually gonna copy the name over because this is also a gigantic farm. And the good news, Triton, is I think you might have a monopoly. Not yet. I was gonna say maybe you're one of the few places that is making hay, but with one more hay field here. With this is not hay, but we have two more hay fields. So if you buy those two as well, then you will have a stranglehold on Los Vagos economy. Though you're not the first in the food chain. This one, sure, if you can buy anything as long as it's not owned yet, which it isn't, sure you can. The bad news I have for you is that
I am moving in,
all
boy.
of the water towers in my city are owned by people. So if you would try to use your power and be like, hey, if you guys want to buy my hay, then you're gonna have to pay. Maybe the people owning the water towers, which are Damir and Gaga, will strike back at you. So, just a friendly warning. And regarding what you said earlier, DLV, you said you struggle being patient enough to build those things. I think one thing I said earlier before you tuned in is a good tip for you. I think what really helps if you want to have a cute build and take your time, don't force yourself to always build on the same place of the map, right? Because yes, I also get bored of whatever I'm building sometimes, but instead of what many other people do and then get a new map and start out a new, I just start a new city on my same map because I in general want my save to have multiple interacting cities with each other, and I just build a new city. Or even, it sounds silly, but here we're very rural, right? If I would continue here, I would build some rural kind of factory. I don't like this part. But if I don't want to build anything rural, then I just go to the other side of my city and build here, right? Because all of this is also unfinished. And I think if you're bored by it, sure, you can also start a new save, but you can also just go elsewhere in the same save you have. And that way, slowly, your one save gets cuter and cuter and bigger and bigger. and you get some more like switch up and change in what you're doing. Triton decided to buy out the entirety of Los Vagos. I can check if something is not bought already, you can quite literally buy everything in this save. So it just depends on if somebody has bought it already. I will check in a moment. And maybe if it's something where I'm not sure if it's gonna stay there, then maybe I deny it because I cannot guarantee you that it's still there. But let's have a look. Junkyard Valley, you say that is up here. I cannot tell this to you, but this has a specific reason. You want to buy this, right? This is a build that is dedicated to a very special member of our community. It's far from done, but this is gonna become Elgando Surface Factory. So this will turn into Elgando Surface and Tile Factory. I would be willing to sell you parts of the building, but you have to live with, yeah, look, Elgando tiles and pavement. So that is sadly not something. All the water facilities are bought by Damir. I'm not even kidding. I built so many of them. Damir buys every water facility in my city right away. They are all sold out. And welcome in, Damianko. Very nice to see you here, mate. If anybody is not aware, Damianko is one of the few people who is very knowledgeable about the game and its rendering and has always been one of the few nice and friendly people showing or sharing a lot of valuable knowledge in CSM. So, honestly, big, big appreciated to see you here. I mean it. I don't like CSM, so I barely interact there. I'm been an outspoken critic to that place. But I do sometimes read in silence, and I mainly check the vehicle channel because of what you're sharing there. So, very appreciated to see you here. I think I asked you that in the past, but maybe you feel different nowadays. If you ever feel like you want to join my Discord, you would be very welcome there. There are a lot of horrible people like me or Gaga or Sunny or other asset and content creator people. And I think you would fit good, but I understand that there is many discords in the city's community and some people don't want to join all of them. So if I have asked in the past, ignore what I just said. If I haven't asked in the past, then I'd be happy to see you there. I might have something good for you, Shilka. Sorry, I nearly overread that. And what I'm gonna come back to you, Triton, because it feels like you settled on the mission of buying out the entirety of Los Vagos today. Is this acceptable as a place where there is junk around everywhere? I also have a proper junkyard. I think it's a solid name. In all fairness, that name Ice Flakes Fan Club, I named my Discord to that in the moment where the entire city's
I am
community
moving
was
in, boy.
upset and said, "Oh my God, Colossal Order got kicked out. Now we're having a funeral for Cities Skylines." And I decided I don't think so. So I called my Discord Ice Flakes Fan Club, and it has stayed like that since. You buy this? I actually like it because I never finished this. So you're giving me a good reason to actually finish this. I will make sure to every once in a while add more junk for you. I mean, it's mostly finished, but while we're at it, we might as well probably make this a bit cuter, because clearly this needs a nice roof terrace, right? What we have here right now, that does not cut it. And now you bought it, I feel forced to actually making this a bit cuter. So I'm gonna go ahead and find a nice fence for you. Which fence do we want? Am I blind? Where's the fence I'm looking for? I'm actually legally blind right now. I want to... There we go. That took a while. And now the issue is that we have decals everywhere, and that is going to be annoying for us with net lane. So where do we draw this without this being super painful? It's going to be painful everywhere. I guess here. Bear with me. Yeah? This seems weird, but this will all make sense in a moment. Yeah, I could talk about this a lot. I'm speculating on a lot of stuff, and some things I cannot say because of NDA. But my opinion on this have always been a very straightforward one, and I think not a very debatable one either. If you look at the Paradox website, Paradox themselves have a mission statement on their website since many years now. I see here's a decal, so we cannot touch it. But they have a mission statement on their website since many years now, where they have said any we as a publishing studio, we will put out a lot of different titles, and we will try to release many and see if they are good titles. If we make a title in one of our studios that is a very good title, we will want to make that game a core title of our studio. That is something they always have said in the past. So when they said we want to take over and make Colossal Order part of us, to me that has never been a bad statement. To me that has never been anything about funeral or not wanting the game anymore. To me, that has been a commitment to Cities. To me, that has been PDX saying, hey, this is one of our core titles. We highly care about this, and we want to make this part of our studio. Again, all of this is speculation, but you can look at the PDX mission statement on their website from multiple years ago, where they're quite literally gonna tell you that they wanna buy out developing studios and integrate them under the PDX head brand. So I don't know. Knowing that, I always had a pretty good feeling. And while I'm thankful for many good things that Colossal Order has done in the past, holy shit, have they also done some horrible, incompetent things in the past. So I'm not angry to see fresh wind in there without wishing them anything bad. I think we as a community always should be thankful for everything Colossal Order has done for us in the past, but I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think the game has been in a lot better state since IFS took over. Mainly, one of the things that I like is that Ice Flakes seems to actually know what the hotfix is. I think my biggest frustration with Colossal Order was whenever they messed up something in a patch, you then knew, okay, this is something we will deal with for the next 3 to 9 months, and I hated that. If Ice Flakes fucks up, hey, okay, maybe we have to wait a week or 2 days or something, and then they're gonna push out a hot fix. And that alone makes everything a lot more chill. If they break something, you don't have to get nervous. You can just relax and be like, hey, cool, this is gonna be fixed soon. And that's really all I care about. I don't care if people have made mistakes or make mistakes sometime. I care about them, if they fuck up, actually fixing it and going back on it in an acceptable time frame. And if anything, IFS have proven that multiple times now, that if they fuck up, they analyze what they fucked up and they will go out and explain what they fucked up, and then as soon as they found a fix for it, they will go out and fix it. We actually need more corners because we have these weird gaps here. So we need 4 more fences. That's slightly annoying, but whatever. I mean, and one thing that I always say as well, if it's about the studio switching, IFS also is in a very comfortable situation now, right? Because they don't have anything to do, in part, yes, if you look a bit closer, but realistically, they don't have anything to do with the product we have right now, right? So they can go out and say, hey, this is bad, and people won't be angry at them because it's not them who made it bad. It would have been a lot more difficult for Colossal Order to go out and say, hey, we did this really bad, and then people are like, yeah, but you're the one who made this, why is it bad? And I think alone that change does a lot of difference, right? Like, it's very different to criticize somebody who's in the past worked for the same game studio as you than criticizing your coworker you worked with for the last 15 years and you've been at their daughter's birthday for 2 years now in a row. So I do think that alone also puts Ice Flake in a very like comfortable situation where they can be outspoken without having to take any responsibility. Good night, Gaga. Thanks a lot for tuning in, as always. And I do think it's probably a mix out of both, Chilka. I do think it's not even think if you analyze the LinkedIn page of Ice Flakes and Colossal
Bye. Have a great
Order.
time.
Yes, there has been quite a bit of talent who has moved over as well. I don't want to say anything wrong or make anybody from the past angry, but to me, this to some degree just seemed like the only
Bye.
way
Have a
for
great
them to
time.
cut off the management, pretty much, because you can't just force them
Bye. Have a great
to
time.
get out. All right, bye bye all of you, I guess, or you were just saying bye to Gaga. I'm not sure which of the two. But I do think there always has been problems in management between PDX and communication between PDX and Colossal Order. And well, if you're the publisher and you have a contract where you can get rid of them and you want to get rid of them, then yeah, that's an easy way for you to force a new management. But I'm sure quite a few of the talent has switched over as well. Hi, Sunny. I'm not sure. Probably she's lurking. Linda, are you watching in the background by chance still? Because if so, maybe we can ask the cutie for the link for the subway tour right away. I assume she's probably lurking in the background, so won't hear this. But nice to see you, honey. Sunny. Hope you're doing well. All right, finally, this annoying part is basically done. I hate working with net lanes in this game. Still less painful than doing this with an actual fence, so best we can do. It would have also been a lot less painful if we'd had less decals in this area, but once areas are so full of decals, it all gets difficult. No, I mean if my miss is here, because you asked about the subway tour earlier, and she was watching a little earlier. So I was wondering if the miss is still watching in the background the stream. Because if so, we could ask her if she can send you the place where to do the subway tours. Because that looked very fun. I actually was sad that I wasn't partaking in it. And if you're interested in that, I think you should totally do that, because both the experience as well as all of the images she showed me were very, very interesting. Maybe that's not what she did. What she did is basically a tour of the tunnel system, and part of it was an abandoned station, but part of it was literally getting into the maintenance tunnels of the subway. So in some areas, basically, where she was standing on top of people waiting on the platform and looking down on them from the top, and get into a lot of places that are usually obviously hidden and closed off for the public, and it seemed very interesting and very cool images of it as well. Chica, you get a since your property is a bit shabby, I assume you don't have money for a proper pool, so you get a cute kids pool. You can get a cute flamingo and a pool noodle as well. That already looks a lot more appropriate. Sir, this is your yard. Do you think you can afford a proper pool if this is your yard? Sir, of course, we're in redneck country. Do you think people would think about load issues of the roof? Obviously not. They put a pool on their roof and then fill it up with thousands of liters of water. And then if their roof breaks, they will be angry and confused about it. But thinking ahead, that is not something we do in Los Vagos. Absolutely not, Shilka. How dare you even assume that we can think ahead? Honestly, I've been enough in Arizona in my life to. Oh, we were looking for the UFO earlier. We just had an UFO fly over. I could tell by the shadow. There is a weird UFOs flying around in Los Vagos. What they're doing here, I don't know. I have been in Arizona quite a bit in my life. When I was a kid, a very, very, very small kid, I was 2 and 3 years old. My parents decided that they would like to take a sabbatical and travel through the US. Or actually multiple. I need to go row by row, but there is an ad break coming, so I guess I should wait with that till after the ad break. But yes, I've been in Arizona a lot in my life. After the ad break, I will gladly tell you why. That's a bit warm. Okay, and do we manage to properly sit down some people here as well? Usually I really like the small menu, but holy shit, with these people I cannot see anything when it's small and I keep choosing the cold ones. We tried this often in the past. This should roughly line up. The heck? That's not somebody sitting. Epic fail. There we go. Actually, obviously, if you want to sit down somebody, you also need to take the sitting model. I mean, honestly, don't you guys hover a little sometimes while sitting down? I don't see anything wrong with this. Maybe should move this a little forward so she hovers less. Acceptable enough. She's still flying a little, but only if you know about it. Otherwise, I think it's good enough. And otherwise, I don't think we need many people here. We maybe need a little more trash because Chilka asked for trash. I mean, if this place is still too fancy for you, Shilka, I also can maybe you can move in next to Shocks. We will add more trash, but I also can make you something cute custom. I know that Shocks in the past asked me if he can live under the bridge. And I said, sure, if you want to live under the bridge, no problem. So we build a nice place for Shocks here, which I think is pretty luxurious and a nice place to have. So wholeheartedly, your property is not that bad for Los Vagos standards. Could be worse. Hi, welcome Geronimo. Hope you're doing fine. Doing good, doing good. Had little time lately, so got to stream little, but these last few days I've been getting to play a bit more again, and I'm, as always, enjoying the game a lot. I know there is other people who don't enjoy the game so much, but I always had a lot of fun playing this. I will also still bitch and complain about lots of issues we were having, but will I have fun while complaining and being annoyed anyways? Sure, I will. All right, Triton, thanks for tuning in. And yeah, no worries. I'll go to bed soon as well. And the next time, I'm sorry, I know we got sidetracked a little. I can gladly realtor a bit more for you, so you can buy up more of Los Vagos as well. I mean, it's also pretty cool because this is generally I have a fairly big split. Like, I like contrast, right? It's not an accident that the most expensive and elegant neighborhood in my entire build is right across the roughest and poorest parts. I like contrast. I very much agree, and it's similar in your place actually. You have this a bit rundown place here, and is right close to, I think, probably the most luxurious mansion in our entire build. Sure, you can buy a house in that expensive neighborhood. There is only two sold there, and you can also buy the farm. But find him. Yes. See, the difference between Red Kool-Aid and many other creators like myself is I don't think Red Kool-Aid is the most talented and best builder. He is an amazing builder, absolutely no question about that. He's great. Now the difference is I think I can build as good as Red Kool-Aid on a good day at least. Will I ever be as hilarious and fun and vibey and entertaining as Kool-Aid? No way in earth. I can try to, but that's gonna be an epic fail for everybody. So that's why Red Kool-Aid will always be the single best one. So glad glad to recommend him. And which is next to the horse thing. Sorry, yeah, I've been tracking of. You mean this farm, Triton? This. This. This might have been sold in the past. As always, we need to find a way to. This looks unsold. I need to check these buildings real quick because I think we might have sold something here. If the decades let us without having to use raycast. Come on, we just had it for a moment. Ah, looks untaken. I think you can have all of this. I will have to make you pay again, obviously, but yes, this is yours.
I am moving in, boy.
Oh, yeah, actually, that thing is. I'm gonna remove that. Good shout out. I was confused for a while what you were talking about in the back, but obviously the block has to get yeeted out. Oh, this is one. Okay, that's named already then. Perfect. And we go ahead and obviously yeet out the ugly block. It is an absolutely lovely farm. I agree. Look, you even have some nice barbecue party in your yard. And you have chickens running around. Like, really, I think this is a nice place. And welcome in, Poplar. Nice to see you, cutie. Pop, have you already? We talked about you earlier because we value your input. Have you managed to catch some of the CPP stream today. How can I get lost in my small city? Okay, here we are. All right. Good night, Triton. Thanks for tuning in. And the next time we are gonna hook you up with a proper mansion in a nice neighborhood. What is your take on the new mod? Because I tuned in a very little, but I was fairly busy today, so I didn't manage to see much of it. I'm definitely skeptic because I think we should be skeptic with anything auto-generated. Okay, interesting. That is a good sign, though, when you say what you saw was impressive. I mean, I am skeptical, but I would like it to be successful, right? So I'm not meaning in I don't want that mod to be good, quite the opposite. I wish that mod would be good. I'm still skeptical, though. And I'm very curious, do we know what data it's pulling? Is the terrain data more accurate than terraining? Because in the short moment where I kept watching and he was talking, or Phil was talking about other other alternatives and how this is going to be a nicer alternative to terraining. I don't like terraining. I've always been outspoken against terraining because I find their data too inaccurate. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it does seem great for people who just want some quick, realistic area of their real life environment. Shilka, what kind of vehicular would you like? It's not like we have a massive change, but do you like old cars? Do you like trucks? Do you like. We need something a bit shabby and fitting to this, I guess. It should be able to hold trash. Okay, lovely. We will get you some. Do we have some actual proper redneck truck with a double? This is exactly the vehicle you need, Chilcom. If this cannot hold trash, then I don't know what can. Honestly, this is going to be Chilka's personal vehicle, but I very much like Sunny's idea, so we'll get to that in a moment as well. And if anybody wants to know what I'm using here, please feel free to ask. This is an unlisted version of EDT that you can get in my Discord. I've been using this for a few months now, I think. It's amazing. It makes moving and rotating stuff so much quicker and nicer than in the old version that I highly recommend everybody to switch to the beta version already. And let me catch up. I will go back and we're gonna place the school bus, but I actually am very interested in what Poplar is saying, so I wanna catch up on that real quick. Yeah, okay. You see it similar than me then, because I also think for like real dedicated map makers, this is probably not the tool. But yes, if you just want a quick base map of an area you like, I think that makes sense. And yes, of course, Shilka, if you have a truck like this, you better make sure that you always park in the worst places and are an obstacle for anybody around you. I think that goes without saying if you're living in the US, anyways. And now is a school bus in here, or where do we find a school bus? Maybe it doesn't have a find it prop. Let's just search for it. Honestly, now I didn't plan to do this. I also didn't want to detail in this yard outside of making the roof terrace, but now Sunny had this idea. We actually need to go a bit harder. Because not only is it cool to have a run down, we should park it the other way around. So we have access to the door. We will definitely turn this into a camper with people living in there. Obviously, not one that gets driven much anymore. I didn't, but then in all honesty, for that chessboard table you want, nobody has to do anything. You just should use right everywhere, your turn. That seems like a 2-minute right everywhere operation. These will be too big even if sunken, I think. Actually, maybe not. I think this will actually be pretty nice. Because we want to make very obvious that this is like not just parking here real quick, but this is people actually living in there. Do you want a real quick show of how you would do so, Jortem? I don't have a chess table, but we can just place any random image on a table real quick if you need a demonstration. If so, just scream and we're gonna try to have a look.
Bye, have a great time.
Alright, enjoy the rest of your evening, Elgendo, and get home well. At least I assume your work is over if you're saying goodbye at this time. See? Did I not smell that correctly without you even saying it? I mean, I also agree maybe somebody else is interested in doing it. I just have started so many different things that I shouldn't really start anything new right now. But Jordan had a cute idea of making chessboard tables in a park. I think it's a really cute idea. I really like those chessboard tables. And it does seem like a very easy and quick Blender project if somebody is up for it. So maybe just putting it out there already brings us somebody who's interested. I'm being so blind today, keep overlooking things. Really, that's so cool. Because yeah, I think not only you're right, not only is the chessboard tables cute, but what's also really cute is the proper big. I'm not sure if they're common elsewhere in the world, but in Germany we have quite a bit of like oversized chessboards in parks as well, with very enormous chess figures. I imagine that to also be really cool. And yes, if you want to get into Blender or something, please ask. There is many people who gladly help you learn because they want more people to make good assets, me being one of those. I do have a channel in my Discord where I have posted helpful asset learning and Blender and Substance Painter learning resources in the past. So gladly ask, gladly have a look there. The more people we have that make good assets, the nicer for us. Now, this still looks too This is too clean and not permanent enough. That back wheel was flying a bit. We don't like that. Okay, better. And how can we make this more interesting? Maybe. I don't think this will look good, but just because I'm excited to use stuff I made for the last asset, how I don't hate this. I don't hate this. This is gonna make it a lot more permanent. How rednecky can something be? I wholeheartedly 10 out of 10. Big fan. I also like the AC unit, also great idea. The problem is we're probably gonna have 1,000 different things pop up. Maybe they were too big. I don't hate this. Here in the back, maybe. And now, obviously, this entire thing is a lot too clean. So we're gonna go ahead with a bunch of different things and bring this a bit shabbier vibes. All right, this we can take as a base, and now we go into the smaller Elgando ones. If this is not bringing this thing into the right vibe, I don't know what is. This is not the one I'm looking for. This is the one I'm looking for. I did not think this is what we're gonna do today, but I'm not angry that this is what we're doing. Great shout out on the school bus, Sunny, or school bus, Sunny. Sadly, we don't have animals right now. I managed to break all of the animals and uninstall them, so I cannot place a dog here. Otherwise, I would say we definitely need a dog or something as well, but that's not something we can do. The problem I see the problem, Yorton, with smoke is we only have that one shitty particle animation that's way too big for anything reasonable. Otherwise, amazing idea. Due to us not having any proper options, I don't want to do that. Maybe in future when we get better smoke particles, but the one I like it sometimes. I think you can use it partially, but look at how big this is. I'm using it quite a bit in the favela, though they always turn off for some reason. When I go close, it turns on again. But yes, this is the smoke effect we could use. And for a small AC, I just don't like it. Even for something like this, I think it's too big. It works here because it's in the favela, but I wish we had a smaller one of those. I have a not yet. I have a proper. You know my airport, Nyoko, like my actual airport. I don't yet have a small airport, but thanks, sir. I'm gonna put the view on top of it so you can actually enjoy it while I wait for Nyoko to respond. It's not finished yet. I need to finish a few things. But I was kind of burnt out by only building favela, so I moved somewhere else for now. But no, Nyoko, you haven't seen my airport. I have a proper airport. Keep in mind, this has been built before we had the editor. So this does not have any of the new cool stuff we have now. This is over a year old or something. And it's a proper airport. I would have liked to build a smaller airport, but we had no alternative in smaller planes back then. So the smallest and all of the planes are now animated. So that is interesting. That didn't used to be the case. Why? Is this in the prop version as well? I didn't. I would like to actually rebuild this. I would have to clean up this airport. Once Nyonko is done reworking all of his models and placing stuff, we can go in and probably rebuild this airport and replace all of these ugly vanilla jets with proper jets here eventually. But I need small planes, right? The big planes are too big for my small airport. And yeah, parts of it is broken because it's fairly old, but otherwise I do think we built a cute airport. We even have some kind of run down scavenge yard, I guess, or graveyard for old airplanes. How you'd see in the area around Las Vegas, I think, is where you find out. And then we have some like helicopter and maintenance stuff back here. And just so I don't overread it, you've been asking how I get the railways with a different. It depends. So I can tell you which packs I'm using in specific, but with everything like decals, it just depends on the draw order of these things. So yes, maybe some decals will draw below the rail. Not all of them will. The packs I'm using the most for these things are not decals, they're net lanes. And the two packs that I always highly recommend for this is one pack by Crypto Gamer. It's a very big one. I'm not sure how the pack is called, to be honest. But I think if you go into PDX and type Crypto Gamer net lanes, you will definitely find these. And they have some. Oops, we're not in curve mode, so obviously this is not how it's supposed to be. But they have some nice net lanes you can use here. And then there is a second really good pack that I use even more than the Crypto Gamer ones, and it's these from Elgendo. And it's called Dirty Roads, which really nice. But yes, I think doing that with decals would be very painful. Even with net lanes, it's a little annoying to trace everything, but it's a lot less work than what you would invest with a proper decal. I guess I do go over it with decals in places, but yeah, though most of the space is just net lanes everywhere. So I don't think my rail is particularly great in this build, to be honest. And even with decals, what I was about to say with decals, it just depends on the decal, right? Like some of them will definitely go on top of well. Like obviously this is not a decal you would want, but all of my weird graffiti decals go on top of this, and I think most of the real vision stuff should also go on top. With the real vision things, it depends on the decal, I guess. Actually, they most go below, but what you can always do with decals is make yourself a local copy, right? Because I think while a lot of what Real Vision has done has great quality, I think the setup of his decals is not great often. So I just copy the ones I use the most and adjust them to my needs, which is very easy to do if you need help adjusting a specific decal to something. please feel free to ask in my Discord, and I'm gonna gladly explain to you how to do so. But it's very easy. You just copy the file into your local mods data, and then you can adjust whatever you want on it as well. And I can tell that I'm getting tired. I'm starting to yap even more and get even more sidetracked than I already do. And I'm always yapping too much already. So I think sooner or later we're gonna try to find somebody to raid you cuties out to. In case anybody who's watching wants to start streaming, maybe Poplar or Data Knase or somebody, then gladly do so now so I can send people over to you. Since Shilka appreciated the other woman hover sitting on top of the roof terrace, you get a second hover lady down here. And now we're gonna find somebody who looks like Shilka. I mean, this could be Shilka if he colors his hair and he spends a lot more time in the sun than he currently does. I mean, with a lot of creativity, this could be Shilka, I guess. It has a gray hair. I mean, you do make a fair point. In a place like this, you would be burned to a crisp. So maybe this actually is you. Maybe you became a real redneck and you started coloring your hair, and you got burned quite a bit. I think this is Chilka, and Chilka is the barbecue master himself. And welcome in, Honu. Nice to see you. What happened here? Why did that car decide to reset down to ground? That's not what we wanted to do. This has entirely changed its rotation and everything. What the hell? You, car, get your ass out here, and we're gonna replace this with a new one. I mean, I think so. That is a good explanation for it as well. But yeah, what the fuck? What happened here? This also is why did these two break? I guess we're just replacing them, but all of these vehicles here they have definitely changed their orientation for some reason that I don't understand. Yeah, no worries. Sadly, I'm shortly before ending the stream anyways. So I fear when you're gonna be back from the walk with the doggos, I'm probably not here anymore. But maybe I find something or somebody nice so I can send you over to. I mean, thanks to Triton's great recent updates to extra detailing tools, it's actually a lot less painful rotating vehicles and putting them where they belong now, so not a big problem. Yeah, I do as well, but mostly when I'm playing, I actually play with stuff elevation locked, as you see right here, like we have transform lock on. So these should simply not be able to move at all, even if they want to. This is all too fancy. We need some way less fancy something. I mean, you do make a good point. They don't call him supreme for no reason, indeed. The problem is I know nothing about trains, Nyoko, so I can give you a size, if that helps. I cannot give you a proper model, because I don't know anything about trains. What I want is planes in the size of private jets, like you see those expensive private jets. I think that's a size I would really like. And you roughly know the size of the regional plane we have in the game right now, right? Like we have the two vanilla planes we have, or three, I guess. The very big freight one, then the normal jet one, and the regional one. The size I would like to have is regional and smaller. Then I'd be very happy. And more of the small propeller planes, like the Cessna you already had, but any kind of that. Like if you give me a lot of small propeller planes, I will have some wacky small bush airport somewhere up here for criminals like Gaga that don't want to use an actual official airport. So any of that, if that helps. But yeah, roughly, you have a lot of your other ones. But this, I love this, even though I've not yet used it because I didn't get to build a proper nice airport. But this I love. That's the best plane you ever made. And then this is the size that to me would be the biggest that I want. And all of yours are a lot bigger than this, right? I think your new planes all look beautiful. I would absolutely love using this, right? But the problem with this is it's way too big for my airport. This thing can just not take off and land there. So this is the benchmark, I guess, size-wise. And then more really, really small ones, like that propeller one, I would also absolutely love. And now let me catch up real quick. Oh, I understand. Actually, maybe that's what happened there. Might have also been that I built that part without transform block, and then obviously that can happen, but they're a bit weird. But honestly, I think I didn't even want to do much here. I didn't plan on detailing this at all. I think we're done with Shilka's cute place here, and I think I'm so tired that I will go and check out where I can send you guys out to. Maybe the last thing we still do is add a bit more trash, because Shilka said he cares about this being trashy. But yeah, you make a really good point. That might have actually been that we connected a road back here and that moved the ground slightly. And that's why stuff adjusted. But it looked like everything got reset to ground level. No, I guess my stream died. Did my stream just die? I think my stream just died as my chat timed out. And welcome in, Luca. Nice to see you, cutie. Oh, well, I'm glad. Then that was just my chat dying on me. My internet has been a bit of a disaster lately. Like any German internet is really, so not surprising, but yeah, I've gotten a bit insecure. For me, it didn't load the chat, and then it told me that I am welcome to MayorCheeks chat, which usually means I timed out, but if I didn't, then even better. And how is it going, Luca? How are you doing lately? And again, big thanks. I know you said in the past that you made this map or this mod because you've been watching me do things. I love this. I absolutely love this map. Or this mod. I really hope that Iceflake sees this and makes this vanilla. I would be a bit sorry for you because that would mean they steal your mod and it's obsolete at that point. But I don't think this should be a mod. I think it's way too relevant and way too good to be locked away in a mod. It's so basic that I really hope they just integrate that properly. All right, we did something very different than I thought today. I thought we were only gonna continue in that town. We made a bit of progress in this town up here. Not nearly as much as I was hoping, but we built other cool things and showed around on the map a bit. I do think with that, actually, I say that there is always something left we have to do, of course. And we're gonna go back here and real quick as a last thing, we're gonna go into our graffiti and there is multiple things we have to do. First things first is Sunny gave us the idea for this. So Sunny definitely deserves a graffiti on top of here. And then Chilka lives there. I'm not gonna say maybe you guys should move in together and think about becoming a cute couple together. I'm just proposing maybe this can be a cute couple bus for the both of you. What you do with that, not down to me. I'm just making suggestions. Now this is a proper school bus hippie mod. And with that, as it's getting late here, I'm gonna go send you guys on a little UFO ride as usually, and then I jump on Twitch and see if there's anybody nice or fun I can raid you guys out to. You don't plan on streaming right now, Data Knazo? If so, you've 10 minutes to get your cute booty on stream. Alright, then I'm gonna have a look at who's streaming otherwise. While I hope you guys enjoy the UFO ride. I would also have to go back and redefine the areas that the UFO is allowed to fly over. There is quite a few other areas where the UFO should be flying to. You can get even more trash the next time I'm streaming and you run in and you don't have to pay anything for it, of course. But I will still have to jump off by now. So sadly, that won't trick me into streaming even longer. But the next time I'm streaming, yes, please, very gladly. And I'm thankful because there is not many areas in Los Vagos that are not finished detailing, but that yard I gave you definitely has been one of the few ones that I've not yet detailed out. So little people playing cities. Hmm. Oh, actually, Canadian is streaming. Canadian just and Gray is streaming. Both of them absolutely amazing. I've rated Canadian more recently, I think. Yeah, both of them. I was just slow. I think I'm gonna send you to Gray for once, because I always want to rate Gray, but in the past you always stream so late that I never was able to. But now I am able to, so I'm gonna send you guys over to Gray. Amazing streamer. I'm sure you guys will have fun over there. Thanks so much for everybody tuning in today, and I hope all of you cuties are having a nice evening. I might manage to stream again in
Bye,
Wednesday
have a
or
great time.
Thursday. As always, no schedule, and I'm not sure, but I'll try my best. And with that, enjoy your time over at Grey Noise and have a nice night. Bye bye, cuties.